worst damage occurred in the northern and western outskirts of the city.
China's nightmare flooding millions. Affected, entire blocks destroyed, buildings collapse. It began with a sound no one could mistake, a deep, violent crack that tore through the air, then silence, just long enough for hearts to pound, for fear to settle. And then it happened. The dam erupted, unleashing a wall of water taller than buildings, faster than thought. Concrete split, steel screamed. The valley below vanished beneath a raging tide. Homes were gone in seconds, roads erased, people ran, but the flood outran them. From above, it looked like a dark hand sweeping across the land, erasing everything in its path. This was not just water, it was power, unleashed and unstoppable, and it was only the first blow in a disaster no one could escape. The rain had been falling for days, each drop feeding the beast behind the dam. Rivers swelled, fields disappeared, warning sirens stayed silent or came far too late. The pressure rose beyond limits. Water spilled over banks, churning into the streets. Bridges shook, roads cracked. The current tore through farmland, ripping away trees and soil like paper. Whole villages were swallowed in minutes. Cars floated past rooftops. Families climbed to higher ground, clutching what little they could carry. From the air, the flood spread like ink across a map. It was no longer a storm, it was an invasion, and nothing in its path would survive. The first bridge went without warning, a shudder, a crack, and then it folded into the water below. Steel twisted like wire, concrete slabs split apart. Cars mid-crossing were swept away in seconds. Then another bridge fell, and another. Highways became rivers, tunnels filled like bathtubs, trapping anything inside. Rail lines dangled in midair with no ground beneath. Transport was gone, no trucks with supplies, no ambulances, no escape. The collapse spread faster than anyone could react. This wasn't just infrastructure failing, it was the veins of entire cities cut all at once, and with every bridge that fell, hope sank a little deeper. The city was unrecognizable. Streets vanished beneath swirling brown water, storefronts, homes, and markets drowned in silence. Power lines sparked and died, buses floated sideways, furniture, clothing, and memories drifted through the currents. People huddled on rooftops, waving for rescue. Some clung to billboards. Others balanced on debris, the water rising inch by inch. Inside buildings, lower floors filled like tanks, windows shattered under pressure, sending waves rushing through hallways. From above, the city looked still, but on the ground, there was chaos. Every street was a river, every home an island, and the flood showed no sign of stopping.
Facts continue.
In the mountains, safety turned to betrayal. Days of relentless rain had loosened the earth. Then, without warning, the hillsides collapsed. A roar like thunder, walls of mud, rock, and broken trees surged downward. Homes perched on ridges were ripped away. Roads vanished under tons of debris. Entire villages disappeared in seconds, buried alive beneath moving earth. Rescue was impossible. paths were gone. Helicopters hovered overhead, but there was nowhere to land. Each landslide triggered another, the ground crumbling like wet paper. The mountains, once a refuge, had become a weapon, and for those living in their shadow, there was no place left to run. The lights went out first, then the phones went dead. In an instant, millions were cut off from the world. No calls, no messages, no updates, just static on the radio and darkness in every home. Towns vanished from the network map, not underwater, but into silence. Families searched for loved ones with no way to reach them. Emergency crews shouted into radios, hearing nothing but empty air. At night, only the sound of rushing water filled the void. No sirens, no voices, only fear in a disaster. Isolation is its own kind of danger, because when no one can hear you, you start to wonder if rescue is even coming at all. They came in boats, helicopters, even on makeshift rafts. Through flooded streets and broken neighborhoods, they searched for life. Children were lifted from rooftops. The elderly carried through waist-deep water. Pets cradled in arms as rescuers pushed against the current. Every mission was a race against time. The water was cold, the rain unrelenting. One wrong move, and rescuer and victim alike could vanish. But they kept going. Firefighters, soldiers, volunteers, hands numb, clothes soaked, hearts pounding. Each life saved was a victory. Each cry answered was a reminder. Even in the darkest waters, courage still floats. The storm exposed more than weakness in concrete. It revealed fractures in the system meant to protect lives. Warnings were delayed, evacuation orders unclear, critical infrastructure left unmaintained for years. Locals had raised concerns about the dam's safety, about drainage systems clogged and bridges cracking, but their voices were lost in bureaucracy. When the flood came, it was not just nature that failed, it was preparation. Now, as the waters recede, the questions grow louder. Who knew? Who ignored the signs, and how many lives were lost because action came too late? The answers, like the debris, cannot be swept away. Not this time. When the waters pulled back, they left more than mud. They left emptiness. Homes reduced to frames, schools stripped to bare walls, fields drowned, crops rotting in the sun, families crowded into shelters, clutching what little they had saved. Volunteers handed out food, water, blankets, small comforts in a sea of loss. But rebuilding would take months, years. Materials were scarce, roads still broken, power unreliable, and in every conversation, the same question lingered. How do you rebuild trust when everything has fallen? This was not just about repairing walls, it was about piecing back together a life, a community, and a sense of safety. One brick, one day, at a time. This disaster will not be the last. The rivers will rise again. The storms will return. The ground will shift. The question is, will we be ready? Preparation cannot wait for the next warning siren. It must start now. Stronger infrastructure, faster alerts, real drills, not paper plans, because nature does not negotiate. It does not give second chances. If we fail again, the cost will not just be in buildings, it will be in lives. The next storm is already forming somewhere beyond the horizon, and when it comes, the choice will be clear: be ready or be swept away.